Dr. T. Fulya Eyupoglu. Wait, did I say that right? I tried it to, yeah, that was okay. All right, thanks, Fulya. She's the founder of Joyfully Learning LLC, where she designs gamified training programs that integrate metacognition and well-being into corporate and educational settings. With a PhD in instructional technology and a background in science education, she has worked on NSF-funded projects, taught internationally, and is passionate about creating engaging learning experiences. Her journey from teaching to entrepreneurship is driven by resilience, innovation, and a mission to bring joy into learning. Thank you so much, Fulya, for being here today. We're going to be talking about classroom to boardroom, your journey from teaching to EdTech entrepreneurship. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hide myself from the screen, and I'll let you take over.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I saw some of you are from North Carolina, I guess. And let me see. How do I go back to the chat here? Okay. How are you? I wish I could have heard your voices. I don't know if it's possible in this platform. Okay, Austin, Texas, Kansas, upstate New York. Nice. So glad that you guys are here, and I'm so excited to be here. I will start sharing my presentation. Oops, hold on. Just let me... Oh, something... Just 1 second. I don't know what happened. Okay, I think now I can do it.
Do you need any help, Fulya?
I think I almost got it. Yes, something
Okay,
happened to my
okay.
PowerPoint slides. It just didn't show me. So hi, everyone. This is Fulya. And today I'm going to talk about my journey. And it's not a career journey only. It's about the mindset. It's about the mission, the meaning. And I want you to be part of this with me. So not just listening, but also contributing, if it's okay with you. So if you can see the website slido.com, or if you can click on the QR code, like with your phone, there is a number 1527209. I just want to learn from your perspective. What do you think it takes to run a grocery store successfully in terms of skills, mindsets, habits, whatever comes to your mind? Let's see. Someone is typing, so it's exciting. I haven't used Slido before. So. Organization, nice. Leadership and management. Multitasking, yes. Or multitasking, however. Wow, nice. Customer service, payroll, inventory, overhead. I loved it. This is so nice. Oh, nice. Cashier, 10 plus. Service, discipline, supply chains, products, years, quality. Good, targeted, worked. That's awesome. There are 2 more coming. Overhead, training employees. Awesome. A team, yes. All right. Thank you so much for your responses. So let me, how do I go? Okay. Okay. So I was raised in a business family. I'm raised with a business family that ran grocery stores, 5 of them, my uncle, my dad, my grandpa, and I grew up around shelves, receipts, early mornings, endless customer chats and conversations. And for years I thought I needed to escape it. So I didn't think that business was as impactful as education. So I wanted something that mattered, and I became a science teacher, despite all of the chaotic, like, what are you gonna do in teaching? We have a business here, kind of thing. Um, and then I joined a cultural exchange program to teach in the US. Now, here we have the next question. What do you think it takes to be an international teacher and lead a classroom in terms of, again, skills, attitudes, and daily practices? Patience. Oh, yes, this is good. I love seeing your responses. Knowledge of the culture. I like it. Cultural awareness, flexibility. Yes. Wow, cultural awareness was like so big. I guess so many people said the same thing. Kindness, yes. Curiosity, awesome. Awareness of language you are using, plain language, daily preparation. I think that's all for now. Okay. Um, so we have so many common factors, right? For me, when I look at it, I see it as listening and understanding needs of customers and students, because wherever you go, different cultures have different needs. And problem solving and adaptability, like you guys mentioned. Creating an experience, like, what a, it's not only the customer experience, also the team, like the working, whoever working inside is that experience too. Consistency with a personal touch. So you need to be personal um, to be unique, I think, to express the authenticity of your place or your classroom. Marketing and engagement, as we know, this is like the most important thing, especially right now. Time management and multitasking, you just guys said. Community building. All right. Ownership, measuring success, resilience and continuous effort, leadership and motivation, and growth mindset, and empowerment through shared ownership. So I came to North Carolina in 2010 as a science teacher, right? And my plan was to stay for 5 years tops, because it's a cultural exchange program. You need to go back and teach back in your country. And the plan didn't really work it that way. So I met with my Turkish husband through my Taiwanese roommate, and we got married, and I stayed here and I kept teaching. So when I was teaching, I was using games, and I started to using WebQuest, but we didn't have so much tools. This is 2014. I didn't have, we had Minecraft and some tools like, but it wasn't like as rich as right now. So it was really, we had some simulations Minecraft. It was really risky, but I said, okay, I will do the risk. And the result is my students improved their end of grade testing scores 32% compared to the year before. And I said, okay, that moment just changed me. And they excelled. They just didn't have fun. And one of them looked at me and said, aren't you proud of us? This was the impact that I was chasing, that I thought it's not really possible within the grocery store. But that sense of family, of being proud together, I had seen it before at the store, because when you have that store, when you have the employees, you are a family with them. You have that we do it together kind of mindset. Um, but I still didn't know that I had that. I wanted to create systems, tools, and experiences that make learning joyful, not just effective. And that's when I started PhD. Um, so here I need to tell you like a little between story, because I started PhD thinking that I would do so many different things, and I did with ISF, NSF. Um, oh, is it everyone hearing me? Hopefully, it's just Robin. Okay. Um, So I thought I would create so many things, but in the academia, when you have the NSF and IES funds, everything is really working so slow. And for someone like me who's been raised in business, who likes to run and do stuff and make things more creative, it's very slowing. And I still pushed like, okay, let me do postdoc, maybe it will change them. But over the years, I saw that it's not really changing. And then I decided, okay, then I will have my own company. And I founded Joyfully Learning LLC. And I do gamified trainings because in order to do game-based learning, which I did in my PhD, you need a big team with the designers, developers, and it requires um, similar mindset, so much budget. But I said, okay, till I find those people out of academia, I need to meet those entrepreneur-minded people. I can do gamified trainings. At least I can do what I worked on. And also, a part of me is very into well-being and self-compassion of individuals. I got trained as a self-compassion teacher, and I do workshops, and I also integrate these to my trainings. And I also consult on educational games. So basically, I build gamified trainings that blend mindset, learning, science, and joy. And I believe learning should be joyful because joy connects people to meaning. Um, so now I want to hear from you. What do you think is one belief, value, or mindset you hope to pass on to the next generation? Resilience, yes. Curiosity, hard work, okay. Self compassion, nice. Acceptance, remain curious, that's awesome. Joy, yes. The purpose of education is peace, be open to learn. Yay. Dedication, awesome. These are such powerful answers. Anything is possible. That's like, yes. Acceptance, the joy of continuous learning. If we can teach that, that's just a great thing. By the way, my one of my expertise in metacognition. Let me just read the. Hold on, what did I miss? Self-awareness. Yes. So one of my specifications in the PhD is metacognition. Metacognition is what you think of when you think of your own learning. So what kind of strategies do you use? Do you read again, or do you question yourself, and do you go and write something down, or do you find like in different things with the motivation, like how do you get motivated? All those things just makes your metacognitive mindset. And if we can teach students that metacognition, like the questioning of like, did I understand this? Yes, no. How do I continue? Then the learning will be totally different for them too. So that's why self-awareness part, the motivational part is, of course, very, very important parts in this. Thanks for your responses. So when we raise our children, the most important thing isn't the subject. I think it's the mindset, it's the curiosity, it's the resilience, and it's the confidence to try. Especially, I'm sure so many of you are hearing like we need to teach them how to get up when they fail. And I think this is one of the business mindset that I learned early on. You just keep trying. Like if something doesn't happen in your classroom, you don't go the next day and give up. You say, okay, let me just go ahead and do something else the next day. Let me change this structure, or let me teach them in a different way that they can enjoy. The business in the same way too. Sometimes the product you choose may not sell, but you can always change it and find a new product, or make campaigns, or use different things just to increase your sales. Um, And seeing failure as a feedback is like, what can I learn from this? Okay, we might have failed, but are we seeing this as a feedback or not? So my perspective now is totally, of course, different, as you can understand. It turns out I didn't really run away from the business. It I took it with me and transformed it. And when what started in a grocery store taught me more about relationships, mindset, and impact than any textbook ever could. I didn't reject business, I reimagined it. And that's what I do now in classrooms, in trainings, and in communities. And I also want to encourage you, your story matters. It doesn't matter what have you been, where have you been, but the skills you gather along the way are already powerful. And when you connect them with joy and purpose, you can create anything. Okay. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. I think you already have that on the things you have. And if you want to bring this message of mindset and meaning to your organization or school, I would love to connect with you as well. And I am so famous with being very quick and go through, but I also appreciate so much back and forth. So I don't know, Louis, is this a platform that people can also talk and share their insight and their stories of how their background served them? That will be also very inspiring. Is that
Sure.
is that
I mean, yeah, I do think I haven't done it that much in this interface, but yeah, we can. Let me see here. Just do. I could invite people on stage. I just have to change their role.
okay?
So yeah, if anybody's interested in, if you have any, what was that question again, Fulya? Let's ask
Any
again and see.
questions? And if they want to share their experiences too, like maybe even some of them might have realized, oh yes, I've been raised in this type of family, and now I see in my business or in my learning design and development area how
Yeah.
it's serving me so much, because it's very valuable how those skills are turning. And sometimes I feel like we forget to appreciate those. Um,
I want to, but while people are thinking about that, let me ask you a few questions, okay?
okay.
So, as an ed tech entrepreneur, so you built Joyfully Learning. So, is it primarily like just gamification, gamified learning that you create?
Yes, and I do consulting with if they want to create like trainings, but I mostly try to make it gamified if it suits, of course, like based on their needs and what their company is needing. Um, but it's mainly gamified trainings.
Is there a particular project that you can tell us about, just so that we understand a little bit about what you build?
Right now, I cannot talk about the company's things, but one of the like very exciting projects for me is I'm creating something for daily self-compassion practices, kind of like how it's like the mental health of Duolingo, I can say, like how you can go for 5 minutes a day, go through a reflection, like, hey, was I kind to myself? How do I treat myself? How do I treat my friend? And then maybe go quickly through a meditation. But this is more like in a gamified environment that you click through the gates and you go and you get some badges like Calm Master, great, go ahead, kind of. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm working on, and I'm doing user testing, getting feedback, and keep building that because it's been a long. It's creating an edtech project takes so long if you care for what your learners need, and it's not like you can just create and sell something, as we all know. So
Mhm.
it's the most exciting project right now I'm working on.
Nice, nice. Can you talk a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur, just from a woman's perspective?
In what sense? I can
I
talk
mean,
about
just
one perspective so much.
when it comes to ed tech, I don't know. It's like, have there been any particular challenges that you face that you feel like might be specific to your journey?
So last summer I attended to an accelerator program for my game-based learning company. And number one, people who are coming from education and who are coming from business have different mindsets. And
Mhm.
thankfully I have both of them being raised in it, but they want to do something and sell it quickly. and see it. If they don't really have too much time for doing, user testing is like not that long as the learning environment, or learner analysis, need analysis are different. And of course, it's more like you are being shut off kind of thing that I experienced. Oh, you go and because I'm trying to find a marketing plan, for example, how I can
Mhm.
make an impact, not just the money. And there was an older businessman who said, "Oh, you will just go ahead and sell this to Kim Kardashian's family and their nannies, and they will use it." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, but it's not what I do. It's not what I try to do. I'm trying to make an impact, and I'm trying to close the gap to reach to those kids." Because the 32% more is what I did in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is like um, the school that I worked in was a very low social status, socioeconomic status school, and students need to be cared so much,
Yeah.
and they don't even met their basic needs. And to have a 32% more is something crazy for that school.
Mm.
But when you care and when they feel like, oh, she cares for us, let's do it together. If you give them that kind of the we do it together mindset, I think that makes a big change. But to give that in an edtech product, it's not that easy because you have personal connection in person, but in online environment, it's a different place to create
Mhm.
that.
If you could give advice to another entrepreneur that is trying to make it in ed tech, is there anything in particular that you think is important uh, to know, or a skill to have?
I think the one of the most important skills, I think, is to connect with people. Like
Mhm.
the more you connect, those people make you who you are. It's not like nobody is doing anything by themselves. You always have some other people support, a mindset, just something they say just shifts, or they guide you, or they help you, they support you, they tell your name at some place, or they guide you to the right person. I think that's the most important thing, um, to grow. And I'm not like so successful right now, so I'm literally trying.
Uh-huh.
And for example, I want to mention about that too. I like literally created 2 days ago after this speaking thing. I am a neurodivergent person. I have ADHD, and at the end of last year I'm diagnosed with autism too. So my mind works differently, and I knew with the ADHD, but the autism that I didn't realize, because it's just like so covered and high functioning type of way. And with the woman, we tend to cover it up way better because we are good at finding the strategies in a social environment. So nobody will say that, oh, she has autism, because I'm so good at faking in the outside world. But when I come, I'm like, oh my god, this was tiring for me. So
Yeah.
I just created a brand. It's fully me, fully enough, and it's giving the like affirmations, like you don't need, my brain is my superpower, yes. And sometimes it's a superpower, but I don't want it all the time, like kind of like funny messages too. And if anyone here would love to look at it and send me feedback, that will be great. I will just type the website's name here, and it's fully, oopsie, it's joy now. How do I edit this? Fullyjoyfully.com. So I put everything the joy, like fully joyfully. And um, did we have a message?
Yeah, I see all.
Oh, okay. Having
Oh,
some.
that's okay. So that's from Carol Ann. Is it okay if I read that? Let me
Of course,
see
go
what
ahead, please. Yes.
Carol is saying. Sharing some thoughts. Bridging the rural urban divide has been a personal and professional mission of mine. Having experienced firsthand the challenges of growing up in a rural area with limited library resources, seasonal travel constraints, and fewer educational opportunities, I've become a strong advocate for using virtual learning to stop the rural brain drain. Technology should be a bridge, not a barrier. Whether someone lives on a farm in a small town or a bustling city, they deserve access to quality education and digital tools. That's why I champion EdTech as a powerful solution. Not just the platforms and content, but the infrastructure itself. Without reliable internet devices and digital literacy support, entire communities get left behind. Learning shouldn't pause because of where you live or what season it is. Community is at the heart of everything I do, and I believe in creating ecosystems where learning is continuous, inclusive, and accessible for everyone.
It's
Thank
so,
you, Caroline. That's very nice.
and that's how I ended up teaching, Louis, because um, I was doing something for those kids in the classroom, but I wanted to reach to so many of those students by creating these tools. So, and it's a mission. It's not as easy as selling a product from a grocery store, because
Right,
everybody buys something from a grocery store, but to create something meaningful, and especially when this like fast changing environment, it's really, really hard to create something that will be catchy. Because I have a 8-year-old, and she's my user tester, uh, but I think what they see is way more different than what we are trying to catch up in so many.
right. That's really interesting. I like that you were talking about building things for impact, because I think that's well, that's how TLDC is basically, as a community, is designed. It's primarily designed for impact without, it's not like a vehicle for generating a ton of revenue or anything like that. It's mostly to try to connect people to help each other get better at what they do.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to education, um, designing for impact is, to me, is a very good thing, even a noble thing to do.
Yes.
So, um,
The hardest thing, I guess, to create
yeah,
impact that we are looking for.
the skills that you learned from your family, having them work in the grocery business, what skills have helped you building yourself up as a consultant and a business owner?
Um, I think the biggest thing is finding different ways of making things work. And by the way, a funny thing, so I was running away from business, right? And I married with my husband, who is another Turkish, and um, he was doing sweet potato research at NC State. So I'm like, perfect. We are not doing anything business. We are doing research. We will have impact in the future for different areas. And then guess what happened? He wanted to open a grocery store. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We don't do that. And at that point, I was like so far away from it. I'm like, no, I'm miles away from home and I'm not doing that. But he's not raised in a business family, but he wanted to do it because he's like, this will work. And he wanted to do the Turkish grocery store. And the first year, Louis, I literally stopped my PhD things and I worked for the store. I'm like, this is how you do things. This is how you do the shelves. This is how you do marketing, blah, blah. And I think that was the year that I saw, oh man, I have those skills that I didn't realize all this lifetime that even brought me to the States, because the program that I came in was now called Participate. At the time, it was called VIF. And in Turkey, there was no representation of it. So I traveled to Spain just to be interviewed. And that's how I came as a first Turkish in North Carolina. Everyone is like, and I came to the Fayetteville, which is a military base. So everyone was like, oh, do you have a military boyfriend or something? Why did you come here? And I'm like, no, I just came for the experience because I want to learn what people are doing here. Because I always thought like, oh, American education system is so different. Let me go and see what they do and bring it back to Turkey. Um, so the main skill is to try, because that's the thing that we kept hearing in our family. You will go like above us. You will go more than us. You will do more than us. You will become better than us. It was always the message. Like, it's never accepted like for you to sit and whine. It's always like, okay, and it was in a way that there's no compassion there, because it's like the old generation is like, come on, do it, yeah, let's go, it didn't hurt, get up. And there is no acknowledge of emotions or anything, but it makes you in a way tough and makes you go like, okay, let me do it. Now I am trying to come to the balance by acknowledging my emotions, what I'm going through, but also, come on, let's go. Okay, I'm feeling stressed right now, but there are other ways. And I think one of the biggest tool is inward thinking. For example, let's say my gamified training is not working. What do I do for it not to work? I should have a terrible training. I shouldn't have the right customer, blah, blah, all those things. And then So what do I do to make it better? Do I do more user testing? Do I find other people help me? And how do I make the marketing better? So you just invert your thinking, saying like, what are those ways for the things that doesn't work to make them better? So my
Mhm.
mindset is always like, let's find a better way, let's make it work, and let's turn this into something meaningful. And in the business you do the same thing, only the aim is like, let's sell this more. How do we sell this? What are the ways to sell this? Like, what are the customers need? Do we need to make a discount? Do we need to make a campaign? How do we attract more customers to the store? So it's just like the same thing. How do I make my students learn this in a joyful and exciting way, and it becomes meaningful for them so they can keep coming back to me?
Interesting. Yeah.
It,
Do you still have the grocery store?
yes.
Do you use any of your skills as an instructional technologist like the other way around? Do you use any of your L&D skills to help the success of your grocery store?
I think they are so much, they have so much in common.
Yeah.
It's the, like the learner analysis is like your customer analysis. Like, what is your target customer? Like, what do they like? They're Turkish, they want Turkish food. Or it's the same thing. Like, if I have a Turkish population of students, what do Turkish students like? Or all those things that we question in the learning and design is the same thing with the business. And when I went to last summer for the accelerator, the questions they asked was like, we do this on instructional design all the time. It's just, it's nothing that I didn't know or I didn't question. And when I'm doing this user testing, I met with a marketing company and they said, oh, we need to do a market research. And I'm like, I did that already. I wouldn't come to you if I didn't see the need. Like, there's a gap in this area. Like, it's just why. But I think people are not considering those things. They feel like, oh, I have a product, this will sell, this is going to be great, but have you tested it? No. So I think learning design, development community has a different mindset. So I encourage, if people want to go to entrepreneur side, they have so many skills that will be enough for them to
Mhm.
try. They only, the thing, I think the biggest thing that I have is, I don't have so much fear. I don't have like, what if this doesn't work? I'm like, how can I make this work? I have the opposite question. So if they're asking themselves, what if I fail? What if I cannot make it work? How can I make it work? And if it doesn't work, I will do something else. If that chocolate doesn't sell, I will bring something else. And that will sell and that will cover the other one. It will just take a longer time, that's all. But I will still learn so much in the in the meantime.
Yeah, that is actually really poignant, I think, to be able to kind of turn it around and look at it that way,
Yeah.
um, and just make it work. Yeah. But I do have to say that is a pretty having that ability to not be as scared, especially as an entrepreneur, and kind of turn it around and just think about how to make something work like that. That's
And I'm scared, by the way. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking like, shoot, but it's just like, eventually, even if um, I sometimes have those like episodes like, oh my God, this is not gonna work. I'm not gonna make it. I need more support. But then that other voice inside me, like, come on, what? Like, other people are doing this, so we can do it. Come on, let's go.
yeah.
Um, that voice is like the thing. And if they don't have that voice inside, they need friends that have that voice. I think that's the, also, I'm trying to build that side of me more, because I think most of us tend to go to the negative side easily,
Mhm.
by scaring ourselves. But um, having those people reminding who you are, hey, when you say like, oh, I'm not good at this, see, I didn't do anything, if they remind you, come on, look at the things you've done, um, that's very precious too. So, and especially like community like this, also very supportive, I think, in that sense.
Right. Right. Do you have any other entrepreneurs that you talk to or that you get support
I
from?
go all the time to the EdTech meetups, and I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, like the second week of April, we have the startup week again. So I constantly meet with those entrepreneurs, because coming from the academia and educational life, we have a different mindset with the entrepreneur people. They look at things differently. So having those people and talking to them also creates a different mindset. It just improves that type of mindset too. So
Mhm.
definitely needed. And I'm learning so many new things. For example, there is like a system called EOS. So it's entrepreneurial organization system. So you might have just a vision, but you might not have the skills to integrate or to make a company work. So if you can find people that are good at doing things, integrating things, you can also do an edtech company.
Mm.
You don't have to be by yourself. Because after a point, I don't think that I can do this by myself. I will need more people that will help me. Um, yeah, and we have a new
Yeah,
message.
and let's see here another comment here from Carol Ann. The insights we gain in the in-between moments often shape our growth the most and lay the foundation for future success. I totally agree with that.
Yes.
So Fulya, what do you how about goal setting? Do you have like do you regularly do that?
I do. Actually, I'm trying to give up on that a bit, Louis, because I am so goal oriented, and I am so there's like the goal oriented and performance oriented. I am more like the goal oriented. I'm like, let's do this. Let's go to the States. Let's learn this. I don't look if others are not doing it or oh, but she did it. He didn't do it. I mostly look at the people who do it, but not the ones. I don't have that comparison system. More like goal oriented, but something I realized sometimes this can be a sabotage
Mm,
because it just makes me not to live the moment, not to appreciate the present moment because I focus on like, did your company become successful? Did you make it? Is it popular now? Because this is the end goal, right? To make an impact. But right now I'm not at that point. So when you focus on that goal so long and so much, it just burns you out and then it might make you give up on it. So
mm,
that's why I'm more like, what are we gonna do today? Let's do the goal setting just for today. Tomorrow, and of course, I have a long-term plan, but I'm trying to focus. Like there's like even a saying on my wall: one step every day. Like
yeah.
go one by one. Because when I was trying to come to here as a teacher, I was so upset that I wasn't making it. I'm like, man, I should have gone to the States. I should have done my PhD. I couldn't do it. I was just like so upset. And when I was doing my PhD, I said to my husband, I said, I wish I could go back to my past self and say, hey, don't cry. You will do all of them. You will go to the States. You will do your PhD. And then he said, what about saying this to yourself now? Because I am still going there. I'm like, now I need to have my company. Where are those people? How am I going to do it? It's just, I want to make it less and enjoy the present moment, the process, because you are learning so much during the process when you go to your goal. And sometimes the roads can change too. I didn't think that I would be in the States. I would be back in Turkey and um, probably I was gonna be teaching. So it everything just changed so much, and I think it will still change. Who knows what will all of us be doing in 5 years? So
Right, right.
we need to have that flexibility too.
Yeah. Wow, fascinating. It's really interesting, Fulya. Thank you so much for sharing all this.
I enjoy
Um,
working with you too so much.
yeah, I'm just checking to see if anybody else has any questions in QA. Um, love to hear from anybody else. Let's see here. I'm just gonna take a look. All right. Well, so how do people connect with you?
I have my LinkedIn, and let me just share it again. Maybe that
Oh yeah.
might be something.
And do you do conferences or anything like that? Are you going to be at any events or?
I just went to the South by Southwest.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, this was my first year doing that. It was a nice experience. Um, yeah, in the future, I have in the summer Games for Change. That's another one that I attend to, and so happy to connect with whoever and open to yours also feedback on the website that I made.
That's right. All right. And I'm going to let me pull that up again. Fully oops. Oh, just went there. There you go. Okay. And I'll just open that and have that on the side. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions come in.
Thanks for joining, guys. It was a
Yeah, thanks everybody. And Fulya, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for so much for participating in the event. Really
pleasure.
appreciate your taking the time out to share with us. And everybody, we've got one more session for today. Robin DeFelice. Actually, she has some pre-work, a survey that if anybody, if you're intending on going to the next session, if you could fill this out, that would help with the session quite a bit. I've just posted that in chat. And yeah, and with that, Fulya, I'm going to go ahead and close out the session. Thanks again, everyone.
Have a good day.
Yeah, no problem. 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be back here to talk more. And yeah, and with that, thanks, everyone.